Not me.
Headlines, sponsored by Ram Trucks. They're built to serve the Bills. Dion Dawkins joined the Pivot podcast. Talked about a fictitious Super Bowl between the Bills and the Eagles. The Bills would have played well, he says. Take a listen.
And now, with the time, it's like we would have put on a better show in the Super Bowl. We would have put on a better show. And shoot, I am a part of my team. So I think my team is going to put on the best show regardless of anybody performing. We are the ones. We're raw. Our quarterback is raw. Our line is raw. D-line is raw. We are the Raws. We put on the best show.
Yeah, drop the banner. We would have put on the best show. I didn't even make a banner. He didn't deserve it. Give me a break, Dion Dawkins. What whiny.
I wasn't whining.
Yes,
Does he need to say that, though?
I mean, come on.
That don't make no sense.
I mean,
we would have only got beaten by 14.
Yeah, I mean.
Is that what he's saying?
I mean,
that sounds like what he's saying.
Here's the deal. In the power rankings of teams who are allowed to take shots at the Chiefs for the Super Bowl performance, the Eagles are number one. They're allowed to do it as much as they want. I don't know who number 2 is, but I know who team 31 is, and it's the Bills. The Bills are not allowed at any point, any player under any circumstances, talk about how the Chiefs perform in the playoffs. Because Dion Dawkins, more than half of the years of his career has ended with him doing this. Play the video. And this, by the way, was one of the more underrated moments of the entire playoff run. Him saying the game was not over. The Chiefs needed 2 first downs to win. And Dawkins like, I don't believe in our defense. Good job, Chris. Good luck.
He said he talked to Chris Jones during the podcast.
But more importantly, Ram, you know what? At some point, I didn't know if this was going to exist. I thought I might be too cowed by the Super Bowl. Turns out, nope. Revenge Season Bulletin Board has its first edition. Dion Dawkins, right in the middle. KW, I dare you. I dare you right now. Your beloved in Kansas City standing has already been on thin ice.
I'm beloved
Revenge.
in Kansas City. Everybody knows that.
I won't put any Eagles on there. Eagles get to say whatever they want all year.
I think they're the only team.
Yeah, of course.
There's no other team that can talk trash about the Chiefs.
How bad of a lopsided Super Bowl loss does a team need to take until another team can be like, wow, they really underachieved?
But saying we would have put on a better show, he didn't say even this would have been foolish. We would have beat the Eagles. What is he? Why are you talking about you would have put on a better show?
No
you lost
lopsided loss when the team who got beats you en route to the Super Bowl every single year.
And also, if you're an offensive lineman and you're going to make that statement, then you would think that on 4th and 1, you could probably pick up a first down in the fourth quarter against the Kansas City
Well, luckily, the NFL's changing the rules for these babies again.
Or on 4th down, the second 4th down in the fourth quarter, you guys would have picked up that blitz or done something there so that you could have maybe thrown the ball, not down the field, but maybe since you're so raw, you could have, maybe audibled to something or gotten into a better play. Like I get it. You want to criticize the Bills, but they sent you home 4 times, and now you're going to get on a podcast and talk about what we could have done. You had a chance. And not only did you have a chance, but offensively, you had a chance to be in that Super Bowl, and you couldn't get it done.
There's wilds. Here's my problem.
And I hate the board.
You hate the board?
I hate the board. I mean, the Eagles should have a board, not Kansas City. Those days are done.
Then go to WIP.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, that's fine.
The Super Bowl champs should have
all right,
a board.
so hold on.
Right.
Listen, Coach.
No
WIP
Super Bowl hanging over the board. You're right.
Yeah, like we lost, now we get a board.
That's right. You don't get a board.
This is like the board is the Dawkins. That's the Dawkins.
Oh!
That's the Dawkins board.
Wow.
The board, you don't get a board.
You're saying it's the equivalent of what
the
same thing.
It's Dawkins on a podcast is the revenge board.
Oh, wow.
That's
I
right.
like that, Coach.
That doesn't make any sense at all because the board is going to respect the Eagles. The Eagles have earned bragging rights. As Bruce said, no one else has. And certainly who hasn't. This is my frustration. I'm going to just totally ignore Coach trying to get rid of the board. It's a staple of the show. You can tell me you can't drop banners next? What do you want us to do?
we got the Eagles
Start
board.
talking hockey?
Eagles
Here's the deal. In all of NFL history, no team over a 5-year stretch has ever owned another team the way the Chiefs have owned the Bills. The Bills are not, there's never 4 out of 5 years, same team. They are not allowed under any circumstances. Like, could you imagine, Brew, if in 2019, when the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals, if Clint Capella from the Rockets was like, man, we'd have done better there. When the Warriors sent the Rockets home every single year in the playoffs.
Let me ask a real question to Brew.
Okay.
If the Chiefs, it was a technicality on that first down, say, you know what? The Bills are actually going to play the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Would it have been closer?
It don't matter.
Exactly. That's a yes.
So what? What is
No,
it?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
but
like,
I'm
we
just
would have
saying,
been closer.
We would have lost
totally
by 7,
folded.
10, whatever.
We wouldn't have totally folded.
It
It
might not have
all
been.
I'm saying.
But how do you?
Well, how do you know it would have been close?
Right.
Just because the
Because it couldn't have been further away.
By 18.
We didn't think
Already
they'd
a
blow
bigger
out
blowout.
the Chiefs like
could
that
have been
either.
further
It could have
away.
been, yeah. I mean, what?
I mean, maybe, but not. That first half was rough.
Remember
that was
when
a
the Patriots
rough
got beat
game.
by the Bears? What was that score?
That was rough. That was
55
a child.
to 10, right?
It was 55, and it was,
yeah.
and I don't even know if they got a
Some
first
of those
down.
Denver
And also,
scores.
here's and God
At the
knows.
end of the game, I
And,
remember
and
watching
here's
it.
the thing.
They're scoring
but
with Sirianni
in
and Gatorade
Dawkins'
on it.
defense, here's what we know. It's not like the Bills would ever go to a Super Bowl and get annihilated by 40.
But the market's changed with the new contract. So come back to the future.
What a bud list so far.
Right.
So motivational. We are 4 for 4.
Brew, do you believe in the Patriots?
I like what Coach said, and obviously I like the Vrabel hire. My feeling in the past was nobody wants their money. I mean, DK Metcalf's already erased them from his list. Now, maybe if they overpay. But with Vrabel, I do think that guys might, look at it as a different regime. We respect Vrabel. We know he can coach. Maybe that'll get guys to take the money and, they can be all right.
If you're afraid of the cold, you're afraid of the cold. It's okay.
Well, he's not afraid of
I don't-
cold in Buffalo.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
New
Afraid
England.
of the money then. Buffalo doesn't have the money.
It's a little after 4:10 on a Thursday, Wilds. What does that mean?
Sometimes I get a whiff of what the media ombudsman is going to be.
You got one this
No way.
No, I don't know what's going on now.
Okay, but it is time
for the media ombudsman, whether you like it or not.
So here's the thing. Little known fact. Sports media ombudsman does not always have to be critical. We just survey the sports media landscape.
So far, it's a perfect game of criticism.
I think every single time it's been critical.
That ends today.
Wow, 5 for 5
I would
motivation.
like to pay tribute to the first show I ever DVR'd and a landmark show in our field, Around the Horn.
Oh, this is great.
So, quick story, folks. 13 years ago, I was doing radio in Houston and had one kind of side quest goal. I'm going to get on Around the Horn. And I flew to New York City, met with the creator of the show, Eric Rideholm, went great. Met with another person, gave him my whole pitch and said why I thought, even though I wasn't a writer, maybe I could be a good fit on the show. That person then quickly told me, sounds great, I actually have nothing to do with that show, and kicked me out of his office. That person, coincidentally enough, hand to God, was Kevin Wiles.
I don't know why you're-
But that's that's neither
I never
here
did. I
nor
wanna be
there.
Around the Horn.
Wiles was like, I work on a show called Overman. You must have walked into the wrong office. But that's not the point.
Good luck, kid.
The point is,
Beat it.
the point is, whether for anybody around my age, that show in PTI coming on the air was groundbreaking. And then for people in our field, it was a real man, if only I could get on Around the Horn. And what they were able to do in giving so many people opportunities. It's how I got to know Bomani